Cenat is an absolute idiot. I don't know what he was thinking at all. I don't know what kind of group of guys he has around him. Maybe he has a whole bunch of yes men, or maybe he has a whole bunch of guys that he doesn't sit down and talk to. So like, hey, is this a good idea, guys? You should start discussing stuff with your boys before you go out and do it. Because this right here was your biggest blunder yet. Very stupid decision by you. And if you don't know what Kai did, again, let me tell you something before I get into this. I don't like him and I don't dislike him. I'm very indifferent, so I'm going to tell it how it is. Right down the middle, cut and dry. So I have no bias for him and I have no bias against him. But what he did was incredibly stupid. So he met a former star, okay? Now an OF model. She's a model. She ain't no model, dog. You know, if I could see it for $4.99, you ain't a model. But it's an OF model. He meets her. He talks to her. He links up with this chick. First off, she's a former star and she's like 43. She can be your mother. Why are you linking up with this chick? She's a former star. Let's just pretend, you know, take the clout reasons aside. Who knows what kind of like disease or virus she got crawling in her? Or what kind of creatures are festering in there? Keep yourself clean, brother. What are you doing? Play smart. Stop taking every piece of cake you can eat and wait for a quality slice. What's wrong with you? So he goes up and he knocks heels with this chick, right? It's disgusting. It's disgusting. What's wrong with you? You know how many guys been in there? She got more bodies than a graveyard. Ugh. And you sitting just running up in there. Disgusting. Shame on you for doing that. But then on top of that, after he runs up in there, she then comes out with all these allegations. And he made her sign an NDA, which is a non-disclosure act, which means you can't talk about anything that went down. Let me make this very clear. If you ever have to make a woman sign a non-disclosure act, chances are you shouldn't be messing with her in the first place. Is that a fair statement to make? If you have to make a woman sign an NDA contract, you shouldn't be messing with her in the first place. Okay, Kai Kennedy McMahon? You sound like Vince McMahon right now with these NDAs. So she broke that NDA. She came out. She also dropped pictures of him sleeping in bed with no clothes on. I don't want to go looking that up. You shouldn't go looking it up. Why don't you want to look it up? Because I'm a straight man. And I don't want to look that up. And on top of that, she's then showing that like, he sent her like $5,000 through Apple Pay, and essentially from what I've heard, you can have multiple iPhones to do Apple Pay through multiple phones. They can only save it on different clouds and stuff like that. I wouldn't know. I have a Galaxy. Why do you have a Galaxy, Coldraven? Well, because again, I'm a straight man, and I pay for my things. I don't want a little iPhone. iPhones are for women. Again, I don't care to have one. Don't. Galaxy's much better. Every time I'm next to someone with an iPhone, they're always like this. Oh, this thing doesn't work. Why don't I have this? I've never heard somebody complain about having a Galaxy. I've only heard people complain about having iPhones. That's it. I've never heard somebody complain about having a Galaxy. Because we have 100,000 more features than you. Okay? You can't even scan through Bluetooth. You know that? If you go on your iPhone, you can't even scan through Bluetooth. It just does it automatically. Garbage feature. Anyway, that doesn't matter. That's besides the point. So she drops his pictures. Sleeping in bed with her. And he makes responses. She breaks the NDA that apparently she signed anyway, which goes to show NDAs only mean as much as the paper that they're written on. And he had to make streams combating and defending himself. Then she comes up with like these P. Diddy allegations against him. And it's just one big mess. She's a former star. What did you expect? She's a messy chick from the get-go. She's disgusting. She's been around more than a 94 Civic. And you're going to sit here and still knock heels with that. Give her who knows how much money. I don't know. I could only imagine it's what she's claiming. I think, this is my opinion, you probably did give it to her through a different phone. Okay? Because I doubt she gave it up for free. I highly doubt she did. And if she did give it up for free, which is a chance she did give it up for free, then that's even worse for your case. Because that goes to show how disgusting she is. So one of two things is true. Either she gave it up for free, which proves my point on how disgusting and cheap and much of a low-life creature she is, or you paid her thousands of dollars for something that's already been around more than a common cold. You lose. Why would you put yourself in an unwinnable situation? And yeah, you came out and 95% of people believe your story. Again, I hope Kai, I don't think Kai did 99% of the stuff she claimed, okay? I believe in Kai, for the most part. But you put yourself in a situation that you don't have to be in for messing with a woman who just is disgusting. This is like, I hate to use this word. It's a red flag. It's a red flag. It's a red flag. She's one big walking red flag. What were you thinking, man? Yo, I'm not gonna hold you, Kai. If I was your boy, I'd slap you upside your head right now. I'd be like, yo, look at the ground. What's right behind the head, right behind the mata? Smack you upside your head. Watch your dreadlocks fly everywhere. Looking at me like, what were you thinking? What are you thinking? You can't be this stupid. There's millions and millions of women. You can go on Tinder and get link ups. Like that. Like that. And you decide to go for some star like that, some former star who's old enough to be your mother? And look what she did. Now, again, here's the thing. 90% plus of people don't believe in what she's saying. But there's that small amount who will believe anything that comes out of her mouth. That small percent. And now whatever she says, it's what's known as a stigma. That stigma will always follow you. Now, here's the thing. Again, I don't think you're a horrible guy. Not at all. I think you're an idiot. And that's the thing. If you never did this, now me and millions of other people who, again, I don't think you're a horrible guy. We all think you're an idiot. And I've heard this thing where, basketball players and other people do it. Yeah, that's cool. Go ahead, do what you want to do. It's your money. It's all consent. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. Because it's a horrible thing. It's not bad to pay for it, right? That's my opinion. That's my opinion. That's my opinion. But you can get yourself in a lot of trouble when it comes down to these type of women who are going to weaponize what happened to try to make you look like a bad guy. That's what you have to understand. They're going to weaponize it. They're going to try to destroy your career and take everything you ever worked for. And you have a lot to lose, Kai. You're like the biggest streamer in the world. Oh my God. All this for a piece of punani. Absolutely ridiculous. I mean, I've paid for it before. I ain't going to hold you. I have. But at the end of the day, guess what? She didn't know who I was, and she didn't need to. You see that? You see that? She didn't even speak English. Toma! That's how I did my business. She was like, you want to, I'm like, yeah, okay, for sure. And I paid her after. There we go. You see that? That's how it's done. My God, Kai, you're an idiot.